And when we left, which was later in the day, there was a line of cars. I mean, all the way back to the street was all cars waiting to get in. And then you can park outside and ride your bike in, and I don't know what they charge you for that.
So what time did you go? I heard you got to go.
We got there at about 10 o'clock, 9:30-ish, 10 o'clock. No, when we got there, we drove right up. But when we left a couple hours later, there was a huge line.
What day of the week was that?
We went on a Sunday. Yeah. Yeah, you know what? Let me tell you a story about going with her. She gets off her bike. There's an alligator laying there. Walks over to the alligator with her camera right in the alligator's face. And I said, Kathleen, I'm not the kind of friend that's going to jump on that alligator, stab it in the eye to get your arm back. I'm the kind of friend that says, that was stupid.
Oh, yeah.
Bye-bye. Hope she's not watching today.
I just think of Crocodile Dundee where it flies out of the water and grabs it.
Oh no.
We saw tons.
We had to see at least 50 or 60. And when you're up in the tower, you're looking down at the water, you see these giant alligators and giant turtles, and there's birds and there's all kinds of stuff. But it's a nice trip. No, you'll be at yoga next Saturday morning. You can't go next Saturday. You'll be at yoga.
You can't go on Saturday morning. Oh, sorry.
Whoops.
My priorities are messed up.
Apparently. All right. We're going to start in an easy seated position. So just get yourself in an easy seated position where your spine is tall and long. We're going to work a lot on shoulders today. So the thing to remember is no pinching, no pain. If it hurts, stop and we'll modify it. Let me make sure that Lola and I have prime FaceTime. So easy seated position, spine is long. Just take a deep inhale. And as you exhale, let your chin drop down towards your chest. So the muscle you're stretching right here is your upper trapezius. It starts at the base of your skull and it goes out to the shoulders. So it's one of that if it's tight, it can restrict motion or mobility of the shoulders and the neck. Take a deep inhale. With your exhale, gently let your right ear come to your right shoulder. So you're stretching just one side of the upper trapezius now. If you push your left elbow down towards the floor, you'll be creating an anchor to that stretch. You should feel it a little bit more. And if you want to fine tune it, just turn your chin slightly towards the ceiling and then slightly down. Find the place where you feel the most stretch between the ear and the shoulder. No pinching, no pain. Let your head drop back, your chin reaches up towards the sky. So this stretches a couple other muscles that attach at your clavicle, your collarbone. If that's restricted, that also can keep your shoulders from moving in the way they should. No pinching, no pain, no tingling or numbness into your arms. If you feel that, just drop your chin to a more neutral position. And then on your next exhale, your left ear comes to your left shoulder. Gently pushing your right elbow down towards the floor will help anchor that stretch. And then make a micro adjustment. Just turn your chin up towards the ceiling a little bit. See if you can find the place where you really feel that stretch between the right ear and the right shoulder. And then finishing, letting your chin drop down towards your chest. And breathe. Take a deep inhale. Your chin rises to neutral. Your arms rise up and over your head. Shoulder blades are down and away from your back. So the thing with the shoulder is you don't want to pinch your bicep. That jams up the whole shoulder problem. You start getting what's called rotator cuff pinches, and that's an irritation. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, your right hand comes to the floor. Your left arm reaches up and over. Look up to your left arm if that doesn't bother your neck. You're opening the rib cage on that left side, but you're also stretching what's called the serratus anterior. It's one of those muscles that helps to stabilize your shoulder. If it's too short, it can't do its job. If it's too long, it can't do its job. So we're going to try and get it to be just right. Take a deep breath and feel that left rib cage expanding with that breath. As you exhale, bring both arms back up to the ceiling. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, take it to the other side. Your left hand comes to the floor. Your right arm reaches up and over. You're looking at that arm if it doesn't bother your neck. Close your eyes for a moment if you'd like and see if you can bring all of your focus and attention to the sensation of that next breath as it enters, expanding that rib cage. No struggles and no strains. Take a deep inhale here. As you exhale, bring both arms back up to the sky, and then take them down like you're pushing the walls apart. Fingertips up. Reach with the heels of your hands and up. Take a deep inhale, lengthening. As you exhale, bring your right arm across the front of you. Just take your elbow in your left hand and just bring it so that you're feeling a stretch across what's called your lateral deltoid. If that pinches in your arm, just try bending the elbow. Close your eyes for a moment. Make sure that that right shoulder is down and away from your right ear. Breathe into any areas that feel tight or restricted. Just gentle stretching. This isn't a position we usually use a lot of, but it's one that's important. So if it feels like pinching or pain, just release. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, separate your arms again, pushing out the walls in opposite directions. Take a deep inhale. With an exhale, take the opposite side. So your left arm comes across, you hold the elbow with your right hand, just gently pulling it a little further, and then drop that shoulder away from your ear. You can keep the arm straight or you can bend it for a little more comfort, whatever works. Breathe, expanding the areas that feel tight or restricted with your breath. Exhale and release. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, separate your arms, pushing away the walls. Now straighten out your hands so your fingers are pointing, curl your fingers under and your thumbs are pointing forward. We're gonna make some circles with your shoulder. Take it nice and slow, make them really large. But what I want you to do is pinch your shoulder blades together in the back. So try to keep the shoulder blades really nicely, firmly connected in the back as you make this circle. If it feels like pain, lower your arms down. These are muscles we also don't use very often, so we're just really activating them. One more huge, big circle, and then bring your arms back to the center. Turn your hands up so the thumbs are pointed behind you and reverse the direction of your circle. Again, gently trying to keep your shoulder blades pinched together. Connect your circles, the movement, to inhale as your arms come up and exhale as they go back. Brilliant. One more big circle. Take your arms back. Lift them up to the ceiling, interlace your fingers and bring them behind your head. So as you take a deep inhale, take your chest, open it up, lift your chin and push your elbows to the back. As you exhale, round them forward. Round your spine forward, bring your elbows together, your chin to your chest, push the air out. As you inhale, come up, elbows back. As you exhale, as you inhale, fill your belly with air, expand, push those elbows back, really lift your chin and your chest. Exhale, push the air out. One more full cycle, taking it up and back, really spreading those elbows to the back. Exhale, rounding them forward. Inhale, shoot your arms to the ceiling, shoulder blades down your back. As you exhale, right hand to the left knee, left hand to the floor behind you, rotating. So one of the main things that people don't really know about their bodies is that without thoracic mobility, the spine that goes between the bottom of your neck and the middle of your back, you can't get your shoulders to move properly either. Most of us sit at a chair all day long. We don't move our thoracic spine at all. So it can be one of the things that leads to immobility of the shoulder or even the neck. I try to explain to people it's like a foundation of a house. If the foundation is crooked or cracked, then the rest of the structure is off as well. Deep inhale, lengthen your spine. As you exhale, see if you can rotate just a little further. Breathe. One more deep inhale here. With an exhale, bring your chest back to face the front. With an inhale, take your arms up and overhead. With an exhale, take it to the opposite side. And breathe. So just creating the optimal movement patterns. We're getting all the bones to move before we start doing our handstands and our jumping jacks from handstands. Nobody seems impressed with that agenda. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, see if you can rotate just a little further. Brilliant. Take a deep inhale here. As you exhale, come forward. Take your arms out to the sides. Bring your left arm forward. Turn that palm away from you and then reach your right hand over and interlace your fingers. It's just a gentle stretch here. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, turn to your left. So you're using that left arm to pull the right one over. Drop that left shoulder down so it's not up by your ear. You're connecting shoulder mobility with thoracic rotation. Deep inhale. As you exhale, see if you can take it a little further. Then take a deep inhale. Fill your lungs to the bottom. With an exhale, take it all the way to the right. So now you're using your right arm to pull your left one over. You're rotating those thoracic vertebrae. Breathe. Deep inhale. Slow exhale. See if you can go a little further. And then bring it back to the front. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, just take your left hand up and over so now it's on top. You know we were going to get so tricky, did you? Take a deep inhale here. As an exhale, turn to your left. Drop that right shoulder. If it's pulled up towards your ear, you want to drop it down towards your hip. Breathe deeply into it. Exhale. See if you can rotate just a little further. Take a deep inhale here. As you exhale, let's take it all the way to the opposite side. Breathing into any area that feels tight or restricted, as if you were expanding it with your breath. No struggles, no strains. One more deep inhale. As you exhale, bring it back forward, separate your hands and push away the walls. You should start to feel your shoulders. They're really working here. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, bring your left elbow underneath your right and then try to interlace your hands. If your hands don't meet, that's perfectly fine. You can have it at the back of the other one or even down at your elbow. Find the place you can work without pain. Shoulder blades are away from your ears. Take a deep inhale, arch backwards. Let your belly spill out into your lap. As you exhale, round forward. So we're working that thoracic mobility again. Inhale as you take it up and back. Exhale as you round it forward. Inhale, take it up and back. Exhale, round it forward. One more time. Inhale, really arch it back as far as you comfortably can. No pinching or pain in the shoulders. As you exhale, round it forward. Push the air out. Inhale, bring your spine to straight. Let your arms start to float up towards the sky. Exhale, down. Try to keep your shoulder blades down towards your hips as you inhale into your belly, letting those arms rise up towards the sky. As you exhale, bring it forward. Or down, sorry. One more time. Inhale, let your arms float up. Your belly fills with air that's locking your rib cage down. Exhale, bringing it back down. Separating your arms, pushing away the walls, breathing, lengthening. Exhale the opposite side, so your right elbow is underneath of your left, your palms come together. As you inhale, let your belly spill out, arch back. As you exhale, round forward. Inhale, arch back. Exhale, round forward. One more time. Inhale, arch back. Exhale, round forward. Inhale, bring your spine to straight and let your arms begin to float up towards the ceiling. No pinching, no pain. Exhale, let them drop down. Inhale, really breathe into the very bottom of your lungs as your arms float up towards the sky. Exhale, bring them down. One more time. Inhale them up. Exhale them down. And then slowly separate your arms, pushing away the walls. We got two more really big arm things. You're going to take a deep inhale. As you exhale, bring them behind your back. Reach for the floor with your knuckles and arch back, lifting your chin and your chest. As you exhale, round forward, bringing your forehead towards your the floor. Stay right there, or with an exhale, lift your arms from your hips up towards the sky. No pinching, no pain. If you have those arms raised up, lower them back down to your hips, and then bring your spine back up to straight. With an exhale, bring both hands over to your left hip. So you're taking a really deep stretch here of that right shoulder. This feels like pinching or pain, just back off. The hands don't have to make it to there. You can use the strap to kind of reach across. If you can't reach those, it's perfectly fine. Find the place where you can feel the stretch without pinching or pain. Take a deep inhale. With an exhale, turn to your left. If you turn your head as far as you can, you'll be stretching through the scalenes and the sternocleidomastoid and the who's a what's it and the whatchamacallit. These are all very vital to shoulder mobility. Take a deep inhale and exhale. Turn to your right. I'll laugh at my own jokes if you people don't. That's perfectly fine. Breathe. No struggles, no strains. On an exhale, turn yourself back to face the front. Drop your knuckles to the ground. Inhale, arch up and back. Exhale, round forward, bringing your forehead towards the floor. Stay there, or with an exhale, lift your arms towards the sky. Slowly lowering them back down to your hips and then straightening your spine. Bringing both hands over to your right hip. Again, it's a deep stretch. If it feels like too much, listen to your body and honor it. No pinching, no pain. If it hurts now, it's most likely causing some sort of damage that's going to hurt later. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, turn to your left. Breathe into the places that feel tight or restricted. Deep inhale. With an exhale, turn all the way to the right. Turning your head a little bit further can help stretch those structures that attach at the neck and the front of the shoulder, the clavicle and the front of your shoulder socket. Deep inhale. With an exhale, turn back to the front. One more arch backwards. Drop your knuckles, lift your chin in your chest. Really arch back as far as you comfortably can. And then with an exhale, bringing your forehead towards the dog or the floor. Lifting your arms from your hips if that doesn't cause pain. Really getting that extension through the shoulders. And breathe. Lowering your hands down towards the floor. Gently bringing your spine up to straight. Take your fingers and separate them. Take your arms out and shake them out. So next we're going to use our straps. If you need that strap. If you don't, that's fine. And you know how your shoulders are. But we're going to take that strap in your right hand. We're going to raise both arms up to the ceiling. As you exhale, bring your left arm behind you and see if you can hold on to that strap. And then use that strap to gently walk your fingers towards each other. So you can, if you can reach, just interlace your fingers. Make sure that your elbows are pointed straight up and straight down, that you don't have your elbow pointed towards the front of the class. If you have the elbow pointed towards the back of the class, I'm very concerned for you. Breathe. Remember, no pinching or pain. If it feels like that, just back off. Find a place where the pose feels good. Without struggle, without strain. And then breathe. Breathe deep into the bottom of your lungs. And as you exhale, release tension and trying and effort. Stay right here. Or if you'd like, fold forward, bringing your forehead towards the floor. If you're folded forward, try to lift the backs of your elbows up towards the sky so they're not pointing down towards the floor. Deep inhale here. As you exhale, slowly bring your spine back up to straight and tall, and breathe. Slowly release your hands, really slowly. Don't allow for any pinching or pain. Releasing those arms and then just shaking out those arms a little bit. Shrug your shoulders a couple of times. Turn your head in whatever direction feels good for you. And then we're going to switch that strap over into your left hand. So start with a tall and straight spine. As your arms raise up, inhale, lengthen. As you exhale, your right arm comes behind you, finding that strap. And then slowly use that strap to walk your fingers down towards each other. You may find that on one side you're able to grasp your fingers together, and on the opposite you can't. That's perfectly fine. We're doing one kind of stretch on your left arm, we're doing a different muscular stretch on your right arm. So it's good. You may hold it for a couple of deep inhales and slow exhales and then find, wow, I can go just a little bit further because that diaphragmatic breath has allowed for it. It's allowed the opening and the release. Find the expression of the pose you can hold with ease. And take a deep inhale here. As you exhale, either stay there enjoying the stretch or fold forward, bringing your forehead to the floor. Breathe. One more deep inhale here. One more really slow exhale. And then if you're folded forward, gently bring yourself up. Slowly release your arms and shake them out. Lola is watching all of you. She is my eyes and ears. Are you awake, honey? So just for a moment, close your eyes. Just easy seated position and feel your shoulders. They should feel alive. They shouldn't feel sore. You should feel like you've used them, and that's a good thing. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, just bring your hands to the floor, your fingers pointed straight ahead, spread apart. We're just going to loosen up your wrist joints because we're going to do a couple of planks here in a few minutes. You want to make sure that your wrists are okay for this. If you have pain with your wrist, we have foam bars that you can use. Just let me know and we'll grab you whatever you need. Turn the creases of your elbows forward. Don't let your fingers move. Fingers are pointed straight ahead. That is a stable position for your shoulders. You should feel like, wow, that makes my shoulders feel tight and firm and supported. Turn the creases of your elbows back. You might feel that your shoulders just feel a little bit more lax or released. That's perfectly fine. Take it back, the creases of your elbows forward, creases of your elbows back. This is also a great way to mobilize your wrist. The bone that starts in your elbow goes down to your wrist. That bone rolls over top, one over top the other. It's the only bone that does that in your whole body. Creases of your elbows forward, creases of your elbows back. I tell people to do this that spend a lot of time keyboarding, going all day long. Just put your hands on your desk. You can do it standing. One more time, creases of your elbows turn forward. And one more time, creases turn back. Then we're going to come on to all fours. So just make your way to all fours, your knees underneath of your hips, your hands underneath your shoulders. So let's start by just bringing some mobility through those shoulder joints. Take your hips back to your heels and then forward. So you're just putting weight through the joint. Before we do handstands, we got to get used to it, especially since we're doing single arm handstands today. Right. It is the Olympics. Yes, you are right. So one more time, taking your hips all the way back towards your heels. This is really good to mobilize your hip joint as well. And then bring your shoulders just above your hands, your hips just above your knees, and begin to do small circles, bringing your shoulders around the hands. Connect that circle to your breath. Inhale up one side of the circle. Exhale down the other side. If you try to keep the creases of your elbows turned forward, you'll be giving stability to the shoulders. And then one more full circle, and then reverse the direction of your circles. So this also creates a fluid, a lubricant, and nutrient for the cartilage in your hip joint and in your shoulder joints. So if you have hip pain, hip problems, this is a really good thing to do before you go to bed, perhaps when you get up in the morning, just to get the WD-40 sprayed around that joint. One more full circle. Cartilage does not have a blood supply. It gets its nutrient through a fluid that is produced through that motion. It's produced and distributed. Where are you going, Lola? So take a deep inhale. As you exhale, turn the creases of your elbows forward. We're going to take your left hand out to the side. Reach for the wall on your left and look to that arm. As you inhale, raise that arm up. As you exhale, take it underneath you. Keep your right elbow straight for a moment. We're just going to warm this up a little bit. So inhale that left arm up to the ceiling. Look at it with your eyes if you can. Exhale. And then one more time, take it up. This time we're going to stay down. So slide that left arm under. Either keep your right arm straight or bend the elbow. So you can stay right here if you want, or bring your left ear all the way to the floor. Whichever way you have it, make sure that that left shoulder is pulled down and away from your left ear, and breathe into that shoulder. This is a deep stretch of the posterior capsule and the lateral deltoid. Breathe. Breathe deeply. Exhale slowly. No struggles, no strains. You have an option here. You can either stay like this or straighten your right leg out, pointing your toe to where the wall meets the ceiling behind you. It just puts a little bit more pressure through that left shoulder. It gets a stretch a little bit deeper, and it recruits your core. And then drop that right knee. See if you can drop your hips all the way down to your heels. If that hurts your knees, just stay right where you are and breathe. Without struggle, without strain. Breathe deep into your rib cage. Feel it expand. As you exhale, feel yourself melt. Slide your right hand back towards you and use that right arm to help you push up so that your right hand, your right knee, and your right foot are in one line. Take your left foot back to meet that line, and then take your left arm up to the sky. So turn the crease of that right elbow forward towards your fingertips. Stay right here or lift your left leg from the floor. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, bring your left arm forward so it's pointing towards your ear. It's over your ear, pointing straight ahead, then down towards the floor, back up to the ceiling, like you're going the face of a clock. Forward, your arms in line with your ear, down to the floor and back up. One more time, forward, down, and back up. Brilliant. Drop your left foot to the floor, bring your left hand and your left knee to the floor, and we'll do the opposite side. So reaching out with your right arm, look towards that right arm, reach the fingertips to the wall. As you inhale, take it up to the sky and then underneath of you. Inhale it to the sky, exhale it underneath. Thoracic mobility. Inhale it to the sky. Exhale, we're going to go under and keep it right there. Drop down to your elbow or stay on right straight arm. It's perfectly fine. Drop your ear to the floor or just stay up on that elbow. Find the expression of each and every pose that you can hold with ease. Pull that right shoulder blade down and away from your ear and just breathe into the air as you feel tight or restricted, expanding them with your breath. Stay here or straighten your left leg out, pointing your toes to where the wall meets the ceiling behind you, and breathe. Slowly lowering that leg back down to the floor. If it's within your within your means, drop your hips to your heels. If that bothers your knees, just stay up off of it or put the block between your thighs so that your butt can rest on that block instead of having all the weight pressing down on your knees. Close your eyes and breathe. No struggles and no strains. Breathe. Slowly sliding that left hand back towards you. Use that left arm to help you push up. Your left hand, your left knee, and your left foot are all in line. Bring your right foot back to meet that line and then take your right hand towards the sky. Turn the crease of your left elbow towards the fingertips and then stay right where you are or lift that right foot from the ground. So if it feels like you don't have balance, you can just take your left foot and swing it off the mat and you'll get a lot more balance so you can get into the pose a little easier. Feel the strength of the pose. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, let your right arm come forward towards your ear, down towards the floor and back up. Forward towards your ear, down to the floor and back up. One more time. Forward towards the floor, or your ear, down to the floor and back up. Dropping your right foot and your right hand, bring your right knee to the floor. You're back onto all fours. Let's just take a small child's pose for a moment. You can leave your arms forward or to rest your shoulders, bring your hands back to where they meet together at the feet. Breathe. If your head doesn't touch the floor, slide a block underneath of it to help support the neck so everything gets to be relaxed. If it feels like this bothers your knees, just roll onto your back and pull your knees towards your chest. You're getting the same stretch. Breathe. No struggles, no strains. Bring your focus back to your breath. Breathe into the areas of tightness or restriction. As you exhale, melt. Slowly bringing your arms forward, pushing up onto all fours. So in all fours, your fingertips are spread. Turn the creases of your elbows forward. Take a deep, curl your toes under. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, just lift your knees an inch from the floor. Start to get the feeling of those shoulders. Pull them down and away from your ears towards your hip bones and feel the strength there. And then lower your knees. Take another deep inhale here. As you exhale, again, pull the belly to the spine, lift the knees, the creases of your elbows turn forward, your shoulder blades down towards your hips. Feel the strength, and then lower the knees. Take another deep inhale. This time we're going to give those creases forward, the belly pulled in, the knees lift up an inch, and then take it back to down dog. So down dog can be done on your elbows. If this feels like it's too much for your wrists, go down to your elbows. It's perfectly fine. Push the back of your knees to the room behind you. Lift your hips towards the sky and breathe. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, come forward to plank. The creases of your a lot of stability to your shoulders. Pulling the shoulder blades down towards your hips also gives stability. Take it back to down dog. Breathe. Take it forward to plank. You can also drop down on your knees if you'd like. Take it back to down dog. Squeeze those legs tight. Lift your hips towards the sky and try to bring your chest a little closer to your thighs. We're going to bring it forward to plank. So you can stay here, you can drop to your knees, or you can lift your left arm towards the sky in side plank. This can be done on your elbow as well. You can just be down on your elbow, bringing yourself up into side plank. Respect your shoulder, respect your wrist. It's perfectly fine. Bring it back to forward plank. Either on straight arms or elbows, push it back to down dog. Bring it forward to plank. Stay here, drop to your knees, or take your right arm up to the sky. Straight arm or on your elbow, find what works for your body. This is a really good strengthening pose for your shoulders and for your core. It connects them together. Bring it back to plank, back to down dog. Lift your heels from the floor, drop your knees, and bring it back into child's pose. Let those shoulders relax. The second half of the class is going to be even harder, right? We're just getting started. Let's get this party started. Lola, Sikkim, the one in the back with all the jokes. Ha ha. Jokes are my job. I can hear it already. Shh. Breathe. If you want to take your child pose deeper, separate your knees and see if you can bring your chest closer to the floor. If this bothers your knees, just roll onto your back, pull your knees into your chest, and allow the stretch to happen without discomfort. No struggles, no strains. Breathe. Slowly sliding your arms around back to the front, slowly pushing back up into all fours. Fingers spread, creases of your elbows turn forward. Curl the toes under, push it into down dog. No struggles, no strains. Bring it forward to plank. So you can either stay here in the plank, just working on core stability, or drop to your right elbow, drop to your left elbow, straighten your right arm, straighten your left arm. So you can stay there in plank, drop to your knees if you'd like. Bring it down, right elbow, left elbow, bring it back up into plank. One more time, bringing it down to your elbows, lowering your hips, bringing yourself all the way to the floor. Turn your head and rest. So we're really getting a workout for these shoulders. If it feels like you've had enough, just chill out, do whatever you'd like. We're going to do a couple more things with the shoulders, so make sure that it feels right for you. The only mistake you can make is to keep pushing in what your mind or your body is telling you is not appropriate. Take a deep breath into your belly so that you feel your belly push into the floor, your rib cage expand out to the side. And then slowly push up onto your elbows in a Sphinx pose. So your elbows are right underneath your shoulders, your fingers are spread out. They almost are like suction cups on the floor. Let your hips relax, just shake them a little bit, make sure that you're not squeezing anything tight. Gently pull backwards as if you were trying to pull yourself forward, but just with your hands, and then look up to the ceiling and breathe. This actually stretches out the posterior capsule, the top of your shoulder. You have a fibrous capsule that surrounds your shoulder. It's multi-directional, so your muscle fibers all go in one direction. The capsule that holds your arm in that socket goes in all different directions, so that's what gives it strength, but it's also what makes it susceptible to shrinkage or tightening. Stay here or straighten your arms, lifting your back up even further. Again, thoracic mobility. We're bending backwards to the thoracic spine. We don't do that often. See if you can slowly lower your elbows to the floor and then slowly push up one more. Slowly lower your elbows to the floor. Stay there or push up one more time, bending your knees, bringing them up towards the sky. So you can do this down on your elbows. It's perfectly fine, or don't do it at all. That's okay too. And then slowly lower the legs, slowly lower the elbows, bring yourself down to the floor, turn your head in the opposite direction and just rest for a moment. No struggles and no strains. Bring your focus back to your breath. The depth of your breath expanding through the rib cage. Exhaling slowly, melting. One more deep inhale here. One more slow exhale. Then slowly push up onto your elbows just beneath your shoulders. Take your hands and wrap around so you reach your opposite elbows. That's how you know your elbows are at the right distance, if you can wrap your hands around the elbows. Now separate your hands and interlace your fingers right out in front of you. Curl your toes under, lift your knees from the floor, pull your belly in and lift your hips from the floor. So we're on our plank, but on our elbows. So you have a choice. You can stay here or you can do dolphin. In dolphin, you're pushing your hips towards the sky. You're exhaling and coming forward, lifting your chin just in front of your fingers. Stay in plank or push back into dolphin. You can do your plank on your knees if you'd like, or start out with the legs straight and then go to the knees if you become tired. We're going for 2 more of the dolphin. Exhale as you lift your hips towards the sky. Inhale as you come forward. 1 more. Take it up and take it down. Back to the plank on elbows, slowly lowering down to the floor. We're going to turn your head towards one side or the other, make a little pillow. Brilliant. We could just stay here for the rest of the class. That'd be kind of nice. So what we're going to do here is we're going to bend your left knee and reach back with your left hand. Try to grab onto your ankle. If you can't reach it with your hand, use a strap. Just holding that, stretching your quadricep, but it's also doing what we call a long axis distraction at your shoulder. So it's pulling your arm down through the socket, stretching another part of the capsule. Just breathe. And then slowly push your foot into your hand to just increase that stretch a little bit more. No struggles, no strains. Just breathe. One more exhale, and then release that left leg down to the ground. Release your left arm back forward. Same on the other side. So bending the right knee, reaching back with your right hand, holding on to the ankle or using your strap. If you can't really reach that, try to have your knees right next to each other. That makes a better stretch for your quadricep. If you spread the knees apart, you're hitting a whole different muscle that's not quite the same. Stay right there, or gently try to push your right ankle into your right hand, just adding that little stretch into your shoulder. Breathing, letting your shoulder be as relaxed as it can so you can get that stretch of that capsule. And then relax, releasing your right hand and your right knee. So you can either go back and do the left and then the right separately, or you can put them together by bending both knees, holding onto the ankles with each hand. Don't worry about whether you can reach it or not. If you need to do one side at a time, we're going to do the doubles twice, so you get to switch. As you exhale, push your ankles into your hands so that your chest lifts up from the floor. Another thoracic back bend. Try to keep your knees together. Push those feet into the hands and feel that stretch into the shoulder capsules. And then release. If you're doing the one leg, go ahead and switch legs. If you're doing the doubles, with an exhale, push your feet into your hands, lift your chin and your chest, and breathe. And then slowly lower to the ground. Release your legs, bring your hands forward, make a pillow with your hands. Turn your head to one direction or the other. No struggles, no strains. Breathe. Taking your arms out to the side like the letter T. So your forehead straight down. What we're going to do is bend your left arm, bringing your left arm right into your side so that the elbow is pointing straight up to the sky and your thumb is pointing into your armpit. Your right arm is straight out to the side like half of the letter T. Let me just move this little microphone thing so I don't crush it. As you exhale, push into your left arm, is making yourself roll over to your side. So you're using that left arm to roll yourself over. You're stretching really deeply the front of your right arm, the front capsule. Breathe into that area. No pinching, no pain. If it doesn't feel good, stop. Close your eyes for a moment and bring your awareness to one more really deep inhale, one really slow exhale. And then slowly lower back down, bringing yourself flat to the floor, forehead down. We're going to switch sides. Take your left arm out straight, about shoulder height. Your right arm comes in, elbow towards the sky, thumb pointing into the armpit. Push down onto your right arm so that you begin to roll your body, stretching the front of your left shoulder. Without struggle, without strain, breathing. One more deep inhale, really bringing full attention to the sensation of that breath. As you exhale, come forward. Take your hands, bring them in to make a pillow. Turn your head in one direction or the other. Breathe into your belly. Feel it expand. As you exhale, let the rib cage just melt, falling into the floor. No struggles, no strains. Bring your hands so that your thumbs are pointing in towards your chest. Their elbows are pointing up towards the ceiling. Curl the toes under. Lift the knees. Push down into your plank. Creases of your elbows forward. Take it back to your down dog. Let your head just hang. Push the back of your knees to the back of the room. Lift your hips towards the sky. Try to bring your chest a little closer to your thighs. No struggles here. Lift your heels from the floor, drop your knees, and bring yourself into Thunderbolt. So Thunderbolt is another one that you can modify here. If it doesn't feel good for your knees, sit up on a block, put it right between your leg so that you can put your weight on it. You can make some space at that knee, or you can sit it right between your thighs and your calves. You can put a pillow there, whatever works for you to create space so that you can have comfort in your knees. And breathe. Now for the second half of the class, we are going to, I told that joke already. I said for the second half of the class, but then I realized I told that joke already. We need a new script writer. Just close your eyes for a moment and breathe. Bring your focus and attention to what it is your shoulders feel like. Shrug them up and back. Let your head just circle round. Hopefully those shoulders feel alive, not sore, not painful. We're going to slowly make our way to the floor onto your backs. So whatever way you get to the floor is perfectly fine. Just make it look graceful. Remember, you're on camera. There are thousands of people watching you around the world. And breathe. So you're going to have a choice here on what you do next. You can either do a bridge with your elbows pressing down into the floor to activate your latissimus dorsi and your rhomboids, the muscles between your shoulder blades, or you can do a shoulder stand. You're going to get benefit out of either. If you're doing the bridge, take your block and put it between your knees so that keeps your knees properly spaced. Take your hands and make them into fists. Push your elbows down onto the floor as you squeeze your belly and you lift your hips. So you're pushing those elbows down. That's recruiting the latissimus dorsi and the rhomboids. If you want to do the shoulder stand, pull your knees into your chest and then shoot your legs up. You're getting that shoulder strengthening because the elbows are what are supporting you. Your hands are on your hips. Your elbows are pushed down into the floor. They're making the rhomboids work. Breathe. If you're in the bridge, you can lower anytime you like and just take a rest and do another one. If you're in the shoulder stand, you can drop your right leg back and over your head, reaching the toes towards the floor behind you. Bringing that right leg up, dropping the left, bringing that left leg up, dropping both legs back and over your head for plow. And then slowly bringing them both back up. If you're in shoulder stand, bring your knees to your chest. Slowly bring yourself back down. And then we'll prepare for final relaxation. So if you'd like something underneath of your knees, we have these gym balls here to keep your knees bent and decompress your back. If you have a bad back, it's a really good idea to lie in what we call 90-90 position with your knees bent and your feet, your hips and knees bent at 90 degrees. So you can put them up on a chair or some sofa cushions. Here, if you'd like, I'll give you a ball. So if you'd like one, just leave your knees bent and I'll bring you around a ball so that you can support your back in your Shavasana. You can make sure that everything is at the most comfort that it can be. Would you like a ball? Gently. So just lie to your back. Lie down on your back. No, you're just like the way you are. Good. Just let them rest there. It's like magic. So take a deep breath into your belly. And as you exhale, gently allow the air to just drizzle out of you, bringing your awareness to that breath. Bringing your awareness to the weight of your body on the floor. Let the backs of your hands rest on the floor. Take a deep breath into your belly. As you exhale, let all the tension release. Let all your cares and worries go along with that breath. And then I'd like you to pay attention to just one body part, the back of your head. See if you can bring all of your focus and attention to the weight of your head as it rests on the floor. If your mind begins to wander, just gently bring it back to the weight of your head as it rests on the floor. And gently, what I'd like you to do is tuck your chin lightly towards your chest, and then gently push the back of your head into the floor. Bring all of your focus and attention to the muscles that you feel the tension in as you gently push the back of your head into the floor. And then stop pushing and let your neck relax. See if you can appreciate the difference between the tension and the relaxation. And then shift your attention to your shoulder blades as they lie on the floor. If your mind wanders or you become distracted, just gently bring it back to the weight of your shoulder blades on the floor. Gently tuck your chin towards your chest, lightly push your head into the floor, and then squeeze your shoulder blades together in the back. Feel that tension in the upper back, feel the tension in the neck, feel the tightness of the muscles, and then let it all go. See if you can appreciate the difference between that tightness that you created and the relaxation that you chose. Breathe. Shifting your attention to the backs of your hands as they rest on the floor. See if you can bring all of your focus and attention just to the feeling of your hands as they rest on the floor. Lightly tucking your chin towards your chest, gently pushing the back of your head into the floor. Draw your shoulder blades together. Curl your fingers into a fist and wrap your thumb around it. Squeeze it all very tightly. Feel your fingers pressing into your palms. Feel the skin stretch over your knuckles. Feel the tension in your upper back and in your neck. And then let it all go. Shift your attention to your low back, where it lies on the floor. If your mind wanders or you become distracted, just gently bring your mind back to the sensations you feel in your low back as it touches the floor. Gently tuck your chin towards your chest and lightly push your head into the floor. Draw the shoulder blades together. Squeeze your hand into a fist, curls your thumb around it. Pull your belly to your spine and push your low back into the floor. Feel the tension created in your entire upper body. Squeeze it all just a little tighter and then let it go. Notice the difference between the tension that you create and the ease that you choose. And then bring your focus and attention to your feet, either the weight of your feet as they lie on the floor, or if your legs are up in that 90-90 position, just pay attention to the temperature of the air as it touches your skin. Whatever draws your attention, whatever sensation, make that your focus. Gently tuck your chin towards your chest. Lightly push your head back into the floor. Pull your shoulder blades together. Curl your fingers into a fist. Squeeze your belly into the floor. Squeeze your legs, your toes curled under, and just feel the tension in your entire body. Feel it from head to toe, the tightness that you are creating. And then let it all go. And feel the sensation of ease as it replaces tension. I rarely find people that don't know how to relax. I find people that don't know that they aren't relaxed. So this is a really cool little exercise for just bringing attention to your body, feeling the difference between tightness and ease. Let your body be at ease and let your mind come to stillness. If you become distracted, just gently bring your mind back to stillness. If your mind wanders to the past or to the future, just gently bring it back without story to stillness. Notice the thoughts that come into your mind. Notice the places that distract you. Notice if you get agitated at the stillness, but don't give it a story. Just notice, become aware, and release back to stillness. And then we'll slowly start to bring your attention back to your body by just wiggling your fingers and wiggling your toes. Feel the sensation of those joints as they move. Spread your fingers apart, spread your toes apart. Feel the space between your fingers. Feel the space between your toes. Curl your fingers into a fist, curl your toes under, and just feel the skin as it stretches over the knuckles and over the tops of your feet. And then let your hands and your feet relax. Let your head begin to rock from side to side. Just feel motion through the neck, through the shoulders. And then let your head come to rest wherever it finds itself comfortable. With your next deep inhale, let your arms begin to rise up towards the ceiling. Fill your lungs from the bottom. As you exhale, let your arms fall to the floor behind you. As you inhale, reach back with your fingertips, reach forward with the heels of your feet, and stretch along the length of your body. If your legs are up on a chair, just reach back with your fingers. It's perfectly fine. As you exhale, draw your knees to your chest. Let your hands float down to hold the knees, hugging them in. No tightness in the shoulders. Release the tension in your jaw. You can rock side to side if you'd like, just bringing awareness to the musculature around your spine. And then when you're ready, roll onto your right side. Lying in a fetal position for just a moment. Your hands can be made into pillows to support your head, or let your head rest on a block or a pillow. And just bring your awareness to one more breath, deeply taken in through the nose to the bottom of your lungs, slowly released in an exhale. And then when you're ready, bring yourself up to an easy seated position, where your spine is tall and long and at ease. Let the backs of your hands come to rest on the tops of your knees. Close your eyes and bring your awareness to your breath as it enters in through your nose to the bottom of your lungs. Lengthen your spine. As you exhale, see if you can hold that tall and lengthened posture with ease. No struggles, no strains. Take another deep inhale, lengthening your spine. With an exhale, bring your hands into heart center, prayer position. Your thumbs just gently against your chest, and let your chin drop down. You guys have done a wonderful job. Namaste, and have a wonderful day. And we will see you next Saturday. Right?
Are you gonna be at Shark Valley?
I won't be at Shark Valley.
You'll see it.
I will not be at Shark Valley. Lola will not be at Shark Valley.
Every time I come here, you make me hungry.
Oh, I know.
Thinking about
Well,
Heard of that.
oh, it's really good. The first time I went, Deco Drive was there,
Oh.
and they were, Belkis Naray.
Yeah.
Oops, am I allowed to say that on film? Anyway, they came and was there with some Brazilian friends, and they were just like, "Oh, this was so good," and they came and interviewed.